Welcome to Unbreakable Latina. Hey guys, welcome back to Unbreakable Latina. This is your host Melina. I hope you're having an amazing day, whatever day you're listening to this on. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. It's been a while since I recorded a video podcast, but I felt up for it today. I had a lot of energy. Every Friday that I have off, I try to record my podcast. I also try to beat the gardeners from coming to my house because they come every Friday that I'm off, and I appreciate the yard looking great, and I don't hire them, it's my landlord, but they always come when I'm recording, so I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to stop recording. I see like a shadow outside, so it might be them. This weekend is a 4-day weekend for me. Today's my day off, and then I have Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday is a holiday. And then I took off Tuesday because why not? Next weekend, I'm going to La Onda in Napa. I'm super excited. Karin Leon's gonna be there. Tito Doble P, Grupo Firme. So I'm gonna sing at the top of my lungs and I might lose my voice. I'm so excited. I haven't found an outfit. I went to Ross yesterday and I found a couple things, but nothing that I was like, oh my God, this is my outfit. If you guys know me, you guys know when I have a particular thing in mind, I wanted to look a certain way. So I haven't found anything. It's so hard finding bottoms when you are voluptuous and you got big hips and a big booty. It's so difficult. Like, I hate shopping for bottoms. That's why I always wear dresses, because it's just much easier. And here and there, I'll find some bottoms that fit perfectly. But I don't know why the fashion is not fashioning. And also, I feel like I'm 35 now, so I don't want to look too like I'm dressing way too young, but at the same time I was like, no me quiero señorar, and I want something in between, but I haven't found that in between, and I'm also coda, so it's hard to find clothes. Anyways, I'm going to La Onda. I'm super excited about that. I have 2 tickets for sale if anyone's interested. So 2 wristbands, a general admission. Let me know if you live in that area and you want to meet up with me. When I get there, I'm going to post them like on OfferUp or whatever. On today's episode, I wanted to talk about hyper independence. And it's something that I didn't know was a thing till I started talking about it with my sister and just between friends. And I feel like when you are hyper independent, you also attract a lot of people in your circle that are hyper independent. So just a bunch of people that don't know how to ask for help. Now that I'm in a relationship, my boyfriend is super helpful. He loves helping me out with everything, and he hates when I don't ask him for help. So it's been such an adjustment, because I'm used to doing everything by myself, like just getting up and going. And I think that it has to do with past trauma. No, I don't think. I read that it has to do with past trauma. And I've been watching videos and I'm like, whoa, like I am like this. Like I don't like depending on anyone because I've been let down so many times. And this is just not like if your parents never helped you, maybe your siblings, maybe you had a good relationship with your parents, but then you got into your first like relationship with a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you had to be hyper independent because they didn't provide any help for you, or when they did, they expected something. So it's something that I feel like a lot of people aren't aware, because I wasn't. So I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get into it. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're like, I got this, even though you're drowning? Because I do this at work still. And I'm just like a kind of a control freak. Like I hate delegating tasks. I'm working on it at work because I used to be the type to like, no, like I can do it all. And I would get exhausted, not ask for help. And at the end of the day, I was just exhausted. So now I'm more willing to delegate tasks and to be like, hey, I can't handle this. Can someone help me out with this? Have you ever felt guilty for asking for help? Because I always feel guilty when I have to ask for help. Like, just like I was talking about with my boyfriend, I feel like so like I don't want to ask him because I don't want to bother him. But at the same time, he's like, it's not a big deal. Like, why don't you just ask me? And I'm like, it's so hard for me to ask for help. It's just been a challenge working that out and being able to not feel guilty for asking for help when I need something, when I need to move something big, or I don't know, like even like putting the water in the garrafon in the freaking water dispenser. I'm like, I'm sorry to bug you, but can you do this for me? And it's just, I'm not used to it. And even he's like, it's so crazy how independent like you and your mom are. Like, you guys don't want help. But when he said that, it registered. I was like, well, my dad's been gone for a long time. There hasn't been a man in the house, so we're just used to doing things by ourselves. So now that he comes over and he does things for us, we're like, this is nice. So hyper independence, it's that feeling that you feel like you have to do it all alone. It's not just being independent, it's being way too independent. So much so that it becomes exhausting. Ever heard of that saying, ay, mi hija es bien independiente, ya hace todo? You're just used to doing stuff on your own because you had no one to depend on. Hyper independence is often a trauma response. It's what happens when you've been let down multiple times, you've grown up too fast, and you believe that asking for help is not safe. For me, I feel like my hyper independence stem from a couple things, but just watching my mom's super hyper independent. And it's a blessing and a curse because I always saw her doing everything on her own. She would be the type that she would ask my dad, like, oh, I need to do this. And my dad would be like, ahorita, ahorita. So she would get mad and she'll start moving the living room all around by herself, okay? Like, till this day, I'm like, Mom, let me do this for you. Like, we literally get in fights. Like, yesterday, like I said, it's trash day today. Yesterday, we got home from the store and I'm like, I'm going to go take out the trash cans. And she's like, no, I'll do it. And I'm like, Mom, just go inside, take my purse, go inside, and let me take out the trash cans. And she's like, no, yo lo hago. It's so hard for her to let go of that hyper independence. So seeing that growing up, I thought that was normal. I thought that women were supposed to be hyper independent, superwoman, and just take care of the whole household, because I grew up in a traditional home where a lot of Hispanic households, the man is the breadwinner. He goes to work. The woman stays home, takes care of the whole house. My dad was never hands-on when it came to taking care of the kids. Only if he really, really had to. But for the most part, my mom dressed us, showered us, everything. She took care of the household. So the hyper independence, it was just normal for me. So when I went to like other people's houses and I saw that their dads were really involved and they were doing dishes and they were doing that, I'd be shocked. So it's something I grew up with. Even though being independent can seem like a good quality, which it is, but being hyper independent can cause you a lot of stress and can also cause a lot of damage to your relationship, especially romantic relationships. So how does hyper independence show up? You're the type to say, I got this. I don't need anyone's help. I always do it on my own. You never ask for help, not at work, not in any of your relationships. And I'm talking about romantic and also your friendships or your relationship with your family. You don't know how to rest without feeling guilty. This one's a tough one because I know I go through this all the time. And when someone does offer you support, you push them away and you're like, don't worry about it. I got this. No te preocupes. Yo puedo hacer esto. Does this sound familiar? Because same girl, same. Hyper independence might feel like strength, but let's be honest, it can also cost us connection because we don't allow people to come into our lives or deepen our connection because we're afraid to bother somebody. It can cost you your peace because you're always in hustle mode and you're always like, soy superwoman y puedo hacer todo lo que yo quiera hacer y solita lo voy a hacer y voy a salir adelante, which is fine. But at the same time, then you're overwhelmed. It can cost you joy because you're working so hard that you don't even get to enjoy the fruits of your labor because you're just in this grind mode. I could do this. Yo lo puedo hacer sola. Being the strong one can also be very, very isolating. And no one's going to understand because you never opened up because you got it. Tú lo puedes hacer todo. And then you become the person that everyone depends on. So not only are you carrying the load of your life, just in general, like things you do on your own, everybody expects you to help because you're always willing to help. How do we heal this? Healing starts with awareness. Notice when you're saying, I got this, even though you need the help. It's by taking small steps. I'm working on this, actively working on this. So start by asking for small things as help. For example, a friend offers you coffee in the morning and it will save you another 10 minutes from your route to work. Just say yes. Another way to heal that hyper independence is by letting people in. I know it can be scary to let someone in because you don't want people to judge you for what you're going through or the things that are in your mind. But the more you let people in, the easier it is for them to understand you and for your connection to deepen. This was something that was a challenge for me throughout all of my 20s where I didn't let anyone in and I just shut down and I Everybody was like, why are you so upset? Why are you always stressed out? But no one knew what was going on at home. No one knew what I was going through. And honestly, people probably thought I was mean because I was always in a bad mood and I was always stressed out. But it's because I had so much on my shoulders that I didn't want anyone to know, because I didn't want anyone to criticize my family. You don't have to carry it all on your own. You were never meant to carry it all on your own. Hyper independence can also develop from a bad relationship where you weren't supported emotionally, where you didn't emotionally feel safe to express yourself, or you felt like you couldn't depend on them to be there for you. Because I remember a lot of my hyper independence stemmed more from the previous relationship I was in, where I couldn't count on him to be there. And it makes me sad to think back and that I allowed that in my 20s, that I allowed someone to just not want to be there for me. I remember this particular time where I got like a flat tire or like a nail in my tire, and I was in the area where that person worked, and I was like, hey, like, I'm here, I think something's wrong with my tire, I don't know what to do, blah blah blah. I'll just take it to the tire shop. And I'm like, but you're down the street, like, why are you not coming, you know? And part of me wanted to get into my feminine energy, but I couldn't because that person didn't allow me to be feminine. It was always like, you can do it on your own. Like, I don't have to be there for you. Like, you got this. Like, you have the resources, you have a phone, you could call AAA. And I was like so let down, but I was so used to being let down by him, let down by my dad, my daddy issues. That it made me be just in this masculine energy, and that can be very hurtful towards any future relationship that you have with a partner, because you're so used to being let down, especially like as a woman being let down by a man, that you don't want to ask for help. So it's hard. So when you're dating and you've been hyper independent, it can be a challenge for your relationship. It can be something that even breaks you apart because you don't know how to allow someone to be there for you because people have let you down, but you have to let go of those traumas. So hyperindependence can show up in dating because you choose emotionally unavailable partners. I previously had chosen an emotionally unavailable partner, and as I matured, as my frontal lobe developed, I realized that this person was just not my person. That person made me feel like I was a needy girlfriend. And looking back, I mourn for that part of myself that was so sad and felt like something was wrong with me because I was asking for certain things in a relationship, but I was being told I was needy. And that made me close off. And I think that's why I was alone for so long, because it was so hard for me to like let that guard down. If you're hyper independent, you're probably the person that has it all together, that plans everything, that gets everybody together, that is there one call away when someone is having an emotional breakdown. You're always perceived as a strong friend. And when you do need support, you don't know how to ask for it because that's not your role usually. Your role is to take care of the whole friend group. You fear that if you're vulnerable, then you're being too much. And that's something that you really need to break out of, because the result of doing all those things, it makes you feel disconnected and no one really knows who you truly are. I know it's scary to let your guard down and to be you, but life is short. If someone doesn't like you for who you are, then move on with your life. One thing that age has taught me is that no one's here forever and literally nothing matters. The only thing that matters is that you're happy, you're healthy, and you surround yourself with people that make you feel good. Hyper independence can also affect your physical and your mental health. Constant stress is gonna raise your cortisol levels and you're not gonna be able to sleep at night. You're gonna gain weight. Hyper independence can cause anxiety. I have anxiety so much when I can't control things. I tend to take over plans because I'm like, wait, I'd rather plan it. But then I get mad when no one plans anything for me. So it's something that I'm like slowly but surely working on, where I'm like, okay, let me take a step back. Like I remember maybe like 2 trips ago when I went to Oaxaca, my sister, I think it was my Oaxaca trip, or was it my Mexico trip, my first Mexico trip? I don't know. But I told my sister, like, she's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't care what it is. Like, just plan it for me because I'm tired. My back hurts from carrying all these trips. Like, I always been the planner, and she took over, and it was such like a stress relief, and I enjoyed myself. And also hyperindependence can cause depression because you feel so isolated because you're carrying all this on your shoulders. Let people show up for you, because not everyone's there to let you down. Some people will really be there and show up for you. So if you relate with a lot of things that I've talked about, let me know. I know that a lot of us suffer from hyper independence. We don't want to bug anyone. We don't want to seem like a burden, but at the same time, te estás ahogando solita, amiga, and you need to let go of the hyper independence, and you're still a baddie that takes care of everything. But delegate some tasks because we can't do it all on our own. You're gonna get burnt out. And one thing about me is, let me tell you, I've been burnt out. And just letting go of those expectations that I have for myself. It's not even expectations that people have for me. It's just these crazy expectations that I have that I'm not doing enough. And sometimes people in my life that I open up to are like, dude, but you do so much. Like, why can't you give yourself credit? I'm like, I don't know. I want to stop being like that, but it's hard. And it's something like you actively have to work on. It's not gonna change right away. You just have to keep on practicing. I feel like journaling helps. I wrote down a couple prompts that you can use to heal the hyper independence. What am I afraid will happen if someone helped me? So go ahead and write that down and then reflect. Why am I so afraid of this? Another one is, what message did you receive about being needy growing up? It could come from trauma. Mine came from a previous relationship where I felt like I was asking for too much, and this person was like, you're so needy. Oh my God, you're so annoying. You ask for too much. What would it feel like to be held, not just hold others? Sometimes we just need someone to be there for us because we're always the person that everyone runs to with their problems, and you're never the one to open up because you think, oh my God, they're already dealing with so much. Why am I going to add my trauma to them? I could do this on my own. I have been super guilty of doing that where I'm like, oh my God, like this sucks. Like this person's going through this. Like, I'm not even gonna talk about what's going on with me because their problems seem way worse than mine. And sometimes you feel like your problems are not big enough, but that doesn't matter. Why aren't you allowing yourself to be held? So amigos, if this episode resonated with you, let me know, tag me, let me know how you're working on the hyper independence, or send it to someone that you know that is super independent and never wants help from anyone. Let's unlearn the lie that we always have to be strong. Let's build community with softness, where asking for help is normal, where healing together happens. You are not alone, amiga. From one hyper independent baddie to another, I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode like I enjoyed recording for you guys. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Follow me at Unbreakable Latina on TikTok and on Instagram. I still have tote bags for sale. Let me know if you want any merch for the summer. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Unbreakable Latina. I feel like I've been really inspired lately to create content. I hope you guys have an amazing 3-day weekend. I might release this early because I want to get it done today and edit it and everything on YouTube so that way I can relax the rest of my weekend and just enjoy. I'll talk to you guys soon, amigos. Bye!